I've been toying with this idea for a while of starting some kind of a video blog, a material similar to what I share in my weekly newspaper column. So the other day, as I was experimenting with this webcam, as it was showing my image up on the screen, I was reminded to take note of what could be seen in the background behind me. Was there anything visible that could be a distraction or a hindrance to the message that I would be sharing? I suppose that I could stage my home office in some ways each time that I shot a video, so that there would be a particular item or items included in the picture, some kind of inspirational quote hanging on the wall back there, or a nice family photo, or a well-worn Bible that could be visible. However, as I thought about it, my inclination is to leave my office in its usual condition. What can be seen behind me? Well, if you look over this way, you can see my grandfather's antique mantel clock. There's a shelf filled with old books. You might be able to make out a couple of cards that my grandchildren had made for me and given to me over the last few years. And on this other side on the wall, you might be able to make out a picture frame. Might not be able to tell what it is. It's a picture of our beloved Basset Hound who had died here a few years ago. And those images reflect certain aspects of who I am, and I don't think they detract from the message that I'll be sharing. Could you imagine if I filmed a video of a gospel message with some anti-Christian slogan hanging on the wall behind me, or maybe with a picture or a statue of Buddha sitting on the bookshelf back there, or if some lewd photo or magazine or DVD was visible, or even if the background just revealed a cluttered mess. And sometimes I'll admit my office can get a little messy, so I may have to watch that. But any of those things would seem to be a contradiction, or at least a hindrance to the message being given. And we need to keep this in mind as we share the gospel in all different settings, that the kind of life that we live is always present as a backdrop to whatever message we may be proclaiming to those around us. Our actions, attitude, and character displayed will either enhance our witness for Christ or it will detract from it. Now, in some cases, people might try to keep the background of their lives out of focus or hidden so that no one can see what's really there. Other people might attempt to stage what's visible in their lives. Just kind of put on the appearance of godliness and purity when they know that others are looking. But as people get to know us, or as they take a closer look, they're eventually going to see the kind of life we lead, what's important to us, and the type of people we really are. Will that reality coincide with our gospel message, or will it contradict it? When the Apostle Paul was reminding some believers about his previous ministry among them, he referred not only to how he had preached the word to them, but also he says, what kind of men we were among you for your sake. And that's taken from 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 5. What kind of men we were. Paul was faithful to proclaim the truth to those folks, but the manner in which he and his companions conducted themselves while they were among them confirmed their testimony. You may be skilled at being able to voice the words and accurately share the truths of the gospel. However, you need to make sure that your conduct and your character isn't diminishing the impact of your witness. We've all probably been disappointed at some point by someone who could talk the talk of Christianity, but as it turns out, didn't walk the walk. And certainly none of us are perfect in our behavior, myself included. However, with God's help, we can be better people. So let's seek to be individuals whose verbal testimony for the Lord is confirmed by the kind of life that we live.